June 8, 2023 Exam Sim 89%, PO 96, Low 89, VAM 78, Fin 90, Top 77, PAD 94, Con 89, Focus on Top, VAM, Con, Low, PO, Q. Stock in a mutual water company is best described as, correct answer, real property. Rationale: stock rights in a mutual water company are owned by water users who have organized to form a water company. The stock rights are real property. Low, Q. A principal or agent always has the power to cancel a listing. When this happens, it is called termination by, correct answer, acts of the parties. Rationale: a seller or agent may end the listing at any time. The parties may still be liable to each other if the agreement ended for no good reason. Q. An agency relationship can be terminated by, correct answer, the principal revoking the agency relationship. Rationale: a principal revokes an agency relationship, while an agent is the party that would renounce the agency relationship. While an agency relationship can be terminated by agreement of the parties, this is not the only way to terminate an agency agreement. VAM, Q. Which approach to value would be most appropriate when appraising a vacant factory? Correct answer, cost approach. Rationale: unusual structures, where comparable properties are not readily available, will be appraised using the cost approach to value. Q. Reproduction cost likely would be used for which of these subject properties? Correct answer, a home built in 1759, where George Washington often stayed. Rationale: reproduction cost is used on unique, historical buildings. Q. What is market price? Correct answer, the price the property actually sold for. Rationale: market value is what the property is likely to bring. Insurance value deals with the cost of replacement. Q. What is market value? Correct answer, the price the property is likely to bring in an arm's length transaction. Rationale: market value is the theoretical price that a property can bring in an arm's length transaction. Fin. Q. Who is the beneficiary, and what title, if any, does he or she hold? Correct answer, the lender, who holds no title. Rationale: the beneficiary, or lender, holds no title, just a note until reconveyance or foreclosure. Q. A buyer is late with the monthly mortgage payments. The lender could declare the entire unpaid loan amount due immediately under which of the following clauses? Correct answer, acceleration clause. Rationale: hypothecation refers to the pledge of the property as security for collateral for a loan. The term accretion refers to the addition of soil to property by the gradual operation of natural causes, that is the opposite of erosion. Top. Q. Which party is in the weakest position against a claim of title made by a stranger? Correct answer, a non-occupant holder of an unrecorded quitclaim deed. Rationale: there are two ways to prove a claim of interest in property. The first is to record your deed, and the second is to take possession of the property. Either occupying the property or recording the deed would put the world on constructive notice of a claim of interest on the property. Thus, a person who has neither taken possession of the property nor recorded the deed, would be in the weakest position, as there would be no public proof of his interest in the property. Q. Who prepares the tax bill? Correct answer, the tax collector. Rationale: the tax bill, which assesses land and improvements separately but taxes them at one rate, is prepared by the tax collector, who determines the tax rate. Correct answer, the County Board of Supervisors. Rationale: the tax rate, which is limited to 1% of assessed value plus an amount to cover existing bond debt, is determined by the County Board of Supervisors. PAD. Q. During the sale of a property, who would an agent and client negotiate with? Correct answer, customers. Rationale: the broker and the principal negotiate with third parties, also known as customers. Q. A sales agent is instructed by the landlord, client not to show a commercial office property to any women. Which law is violated if the sales agent follows these instructions? Correct answer, none of the above. Rationale: while gender discrimination is prohibited under the Federal Fair Housing Act, this is not housing, but commercial office space. The Sherman Antitrust Act prohibits price fixing or market fixing. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 prohibits discrimination based upon an applicant's race only. Con. Q. Seller Sue promised in the sales contract to have an expensive new roof put on the house before closing. At the closing table, when asked about the roof, Sue said she decided not to replace the roof but just to reduce the sales price instead. What can the buyer do about this? Correct answer, either answer. Rationale: if one party to a contract performs his or her side of the bargain as set forth in the agreement, the other party is required to perform. 2. If one party fails to perform, and the failure is not excused, He or she has breached the contract and the other party is not required to perform. Q. A lease executed by a minor lessor is, correct answer, voidable by the landlord only. Rationale: the minor is the landlord in this question. A lessor is the person who gives the lease. The lease is voidable by the minor landlord, who lacks contractual capacity. Void means the contract never existed. The voidable contract is enforceable only as long as the minor so chooses.